guys, my name is Priscilla Elias and today I'll give you tips to help you get nicely focused, super sharp portraits. Who's never had a problem with focus? Many times I shot, looked at the viewfinder, everything looked beautiful, went back home, transferred the images to the computer and the photos are totally out of focus. Then I studied, practiced, and now I have a few tips that helped me get the focus right. Tip number 1, watch your focus point. Since I usually do not shoot sports, 95% of the time my camera is on single focus point. The single focus point is perfect for non-moving objects, and what it does is when you half press the shutter button, you lock the focus on the single point you see on the viewfinder. You can move that single point to wherever you want in the viewfinder when adjusting your settings, but since I like to be flexible and fast for my shots, especially when I shoot portraits and events, I just lock it to the middle of the viewfinder and then I recompose the image. And how do I do that? How do I recompose an image? What the heck is that? What recomposing means is you carefully frame your shot and place your subject somewhere in the frame before you take a picture. In other words, you compose the shot. To do that, I center whatever I want to be in focus, half press the shutter button, move the camera in a way I'm happy with the composition, and then I finish pressing the shutter button. Since I lock my focus when I half press the button, I'm able to change my camera directions and still maintain my initial focus. It is important to say this won't work if you step back and forth. You have to be on the same spot from the moment you half press the button to the moment you press it entirely in order for this to work well. Now, if you shoot sports, or if you want to shoot a walk down the aisle, a moving car, someone playing sports, then you might prefer the zone or multi-focus point along with the continuous focus mode, also called AFC on Nikon and Alt-Servo on Canon. But that can be a topic for a next video. So, okay Pris, I do not shoot sports, but I shoot events and people move. Will these tips work? Yes, in fact, I shoot a lot of weddings and all sorts of events myself, and I only use my camera on single point and single focus mode. Would it be better to have different settings when I shoot a bride coming down the aisle, for example? To be honest, I've tried that and I still prefer the single point and single focus. Unless the subject is running or moving really fast, these are the settings I found to be more accurate once I nailed the act of recomposing the photos. Being able to recompose fast is very important in order for this to work when people are walking though. If I take 3 seconds to recompose a shot, then of course when I finally hit the end of the shutter button to take the photo, the subject will have moved so much it will be out of focus already. So if you're not fast enough and you want to capture movement, just shoot multi-focus point with continuous focus mode. Tip number 2, always go for the eye. That's it, as simple as that. Point your single focus point to one of the eyes of the person, lock the focus, recompose and shoot. This tip works better if you're also careful with the next tip, which is tip number 3. Watch your distance from the subject and also your aperture. I've talked about this on the video I'll link below, but if you focus for the eye using a very shallow depth of field, when you're very close to a subject, for example, if you're shooting 1.4 at a profile close-up, you might only get part of the face in focus. So if you focus for part of the face and you're too close to the subject with a very wide open aperture, you might not get the whole face on focus. You might really only get the eye, or maybe the eye and part of the nose. So if your focus is in only one part of the subject and you want it to be entirely in focus, try either going further from it or decreasing your aperture until you get all you need in focus. I also said this on another video, but when you shoot one person, you can usually go with a 1.8 aperture, even 1.4. Now, when you're shooting 2 people, if you want the focus in both of them, especially if you're starting out, it is safer to go with 2.8 aperture. If you're shooting a group photo, maybe just start from 3.5 aperture. And again, of course, this will depend on your distance from the subject and if you either want the focus on them entirely or not. But maybe these values can help you to at least start out from somewhere, as they helped me. And this is it for today, guys. Please now get your camera, try these tips out and let me know how they worked for you. Also, if you have any tips to make sharper images you want to share, please write in the comments below and then maybe I can make a new video about them. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel and click the notify button so you'll get notified when I release new videos. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao! Tip number 1, watch your focus point, which I didn't do before I did this video. Who's never had a problem with focus? I just recorded this video entirely out of focus